Hello, welcome back. So in this part, we are going to discuss about the steps which we generally follow to calculate the internal loading. So as I said earlier also that we can find out internal loading using the method of section, and this method of section concept I have already discussed in the previous lecture. So the same concept we are going to follow here also. So our first step is to find out the support reaction. So here if I take an example, say for example this is a cantilever beam which is subjected to an external load, say P. And because of this external load, if I am required to find out internal loading at this point, so in that case, what I will be doing is, first of all, I will have to draw the section at this point. So to calculate the internal loading or to cut the section, first of all, I need to find out the reactions. What are the reaction which will be offered because of this load? So that is my first step. First of all, I will be calculating the reaction force. So as I said here, before the member is sectioned or cut, it may first be necessary to determine the support reaction. Well, it may not be necessary in all the cases because that depends on our choice, which part we are going to take. So for example, in this cantilever beam, if I have the choice whether I take the left hand side part of the beam or right hand side part of the beam. So if I take the right hand side part of the beam, then there is no need to take to calculate the reactions. But if I am taking the right hand side part, then I will be required to find out the beam reactions first to calculate the internal loading. So that depends on our choice. Then once we calculate the reaction, then we have to make the free body diagram of the beam section. So as I said that if I am required to find out internal loading at this point, then first of all I will make the section, say section AA, and then I will decide which part free body diagram I have to make, whether I have to make free body diagram of left hand side part or of the right hand side part. So here, as I said, so before making the free body diagram, all kind of external load, they should be placed on their original position. So as it is written here also, it is important to keep all the distributed loading, couple moments and forces acting on the member on their exact location. Well, why we are saying this? Because this couple moment, which generally acts on the beam, they are actually the free vector, which means we can place them anywhere, their magnitude will not be changing. Okay, so I will take an example of this couple moment to show you this thing. So couple moment are free vector, and because of this, this is the statement that before cutting the section, we need to have we need to keep all the loads at their original positions, and then we will pass an imaginary section through the member. So this AA section is the imaginary section to its axis at the point where the internal loading are to be determined. So this is the point we are required to find out the internal loading. So we will pass the imaginary line along this point, which is line AA. Then it say after the section is made, we will draw a free body diagram of the segment that has the least number of loads on it. And then we will indicate the component of the internal forces and couple moment resultant at the cross section acting on their positive direction in accordance with the established sign convention. So now I will show you the same example. Now, if I have to make, now I have to decide whether I take left hand side part or right hand side part. So for example, if I take the left hand side part, then I have to make its free body diagram. So this is the beam section, left hand side part of the beam section, and this on the left hand side part there will be three forces will be in the form of reaction. So one is the vertical reaction, horizontal reaction and the moment reaction. Similarly, on the face AA, on the point AA, there will be three internal loading. One will be in the form of normal force, second will be in the form of shear force V, and the third will be in the form of resultant moment in the as M. So that becomes the right hand free body diagram of the left hand part. Sorry, if I have to make free body diagram of the right hand side part, so in that case I will make the beam. There is a load acting on it, which is say P, and on this face I have to show the uh, internal loading. So here on the left hand side I have made shear force as downward, so here it will be upward V. Similarly, I have made this as anti-clockwise, so here it will be clockwise. Similarly, the normal force, here it is left to right, so here it will be right to left to balance both the sections. So whether we take left hand side or we take right hand side, it will be decided on the basis of number of forces present in that section. So in this section, in the right hand side section, there are four forces P, M, V and N. Similarly, if we consider the left hand side part, so here the total number of forces are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So therefore, it will be wise to take the right hand side portion because here are only 4 forces. So if we take a section which will be having least number of forces, then we will have less complication in our calculation. So once we make the free body diagram, then we have to apply the equations of equilibrium to calculate the value of M, V and N. So N can be calculated using the equation of equilibrium, say summation of Fx is equals to 0. Then V can be calculated using the second equation of equilibrium, which is summation of Fy equals to 0. And M can be calculated using the third equation of equilibrium, which is summation of M should be equals to 0. So generally we take moment at the point where we cut the section. So therefore it says moments should be summed at the section. Now why I'm again telling you here. So here if we take consider say the left hand side part. So here sorry right hand side part. So here we will take moment on this point where we have cut the section. Now, why we are taking moment at this point? Because if we take moment at this point, then unknown forces N and V, they will be neglected or they will have zero magnitude because both of these forces will be passing along this point. So therefore, moment can be calculated. So in the equation, moment will be only the unknown value, unknown parameter. N and V will be 0 in that equation. So all of this thing I will explain when we will be taking an example. Now it says if the solutions of equilibrium equations yield a negative value or negative scalar, then what does it means? It means the sense of the quantity, sense of the force which we have assumed earlier will be opposite than our assumption. So like in the previous lecture, in case of trusses, I was assuming the sense within the member, whether they are in the compression or in tension. So in the same manner, we will also assume the direction of the internal forces. So I will again show you this. Yes. So here we are assuming randomly that this force will be upward, this force will be clockwise, this force will be left to right or right to left. So here we are just assuming. We have to verify this direction with our result. So if our answer is negative, it means the sense is in the opposite direction. Okay. So equations of equilibrium will be used to calculate the internal loading. So that is the process to calculate the internal loading. So now in the next part we will take an example to understand the concept. Thank you.